Thanks so much for that introduction. Yes, as you heard, my name is Kieran O'Malley, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here to talk to you all today at this fantastic conference. I hope you're enjoying the morning so far. And today I'm going to be talking to you about influencer marketing. It's an area that I find extremely interesting. I think it's become extremely popular over the last few years, but is kind of misunderstood at the moment. So I suppose why I'm talking about this today is I got into social media a number of years ago. Started writing a blog before I knew kind of what blogging was and things like that. And it gave me a really good understanding of the world of social media and of influencers, bloggers, all that kind of thing. From it's about 8-9 years ago that I started in it. I was actually working in the banking sector at the time, and I enjoyed social media, digital marketing so much that I decided to change industries and move into that world. So now I'm the digital marketing executive for the Connacht Hospitality Group here in Galway. We have a number of brands that you might be familiar with, such as the Connacht Hotel, where I am today, on Pucon, 1520, Hyde Bar, one of Ireland's most Instagrammable bars. And that's something I'll be coming back to a number of times during the presentation. And through my job and my interest in influencer marketing and social media, I think I have a unique perspective, being someone that understands influencer marketing from both sides, being what is termed as an influencer and also using it in all of our businesses to drive revenue and to drive sales here and ultimately make better brand awareness and make money for the company. So today I'm just going to take you through what my thoughts are on influencer marketing, where it is at the moment, where it's going to go. So I suppose the first thing is, what is an influencer? Well, the reality of it is that we're all influencers nowadays. How many times have you based going to a restaurant on a friend's recommendation, or buying new clothes, or even buying a car based on the recommendation of someone that you know and trust? So it's one of the definitions that I found is that influencer marketing is the practice of engaging internal and industry experts with active networks to help achieve measurable business goals. Now, what does that mean? So, as I said, we are all influencers of a kind. If a new bar opens and I've been to it, I tell my friends about it, they're more likely to check it out. So, in our everyday lives, we influence the decisions that other people make. And these can be purchasing decisions. So, ultimately, we are acting in a business way to promote other businesses and to drive their revenue. So, we're all influencers, but some people have taken it to another level. So influencer marketing has evolved over the years, but ultimately it's a hybrid of a number of different styles of marketing. We're all familiar with the celebrity marketing of the past, and now it has evolved that normal people have their own channels, have their own voice. They've become experts in a specific niche area, and they have amassed followers that they are able to, that are interested in what this person has to say, and therefore is more likely to make a purchasing decision based on what that person is putting out there. So it's a really interesting space that we're moving into now because of the digital age that we're living in. It's an amazing opportunity for businesses to have a much better way of contacting and connecting with their audience. So, like, who are influencers, or what are influencers? It's actually kind of funny. The first influencers goes all the way back, apparently, to medieval times, and it was the popes around the 1500s. So they were advocating medicine before it was a kind of a popular thing. So influencing has always been around. It has moved through the generations, so down through history, there's always been influencers. But one of the most famous, original examples of influencer marketing is actually the great old man himself, Santa Claus. So he was used by Coca-Cola during the Great Depression, when everything was depressing and miserable. They used Santa Claus to bring positivity to the world. So not only did they change the focus of their product, not just selling exclusively to adults, they made it a family drink, a family brand. So Santa Claus was one of the first and biggest and best influencers. He engaged with people, he brought positivity, happiness to the world. And because of that association with Coca-Cola, they were associated with that happiness. So you see a lot of influencers and people on social media getting criticism for being too positive or just having a highlight reel of their life. Well, it was Santa Claus that started doing that originally. Obviously, there's been other famous characters like Tony the Tiger there. The Marlboro Man is another very good example of influencer marketing. So during the, say, mid-50s, Marlboro saw a lot of information coming out that saying how unhealthy cigarettes were. So they created a person to personify their brand, which they identified as cool. So once the Marlboro Man came out and was this embodiment of their brand, he was the ultimate influencer making smoking cool. Sales went up from $5 million to $25 million in the first year that the Marlboro Man was out. So that was one of the early examples of influencer marketing. It grew with celebrities then through the 60s and 70s. And I suppose one of the big examples that we were all shown recently was Michael Jordan, who anyone that has seen the Netflix series The Last Dance will be very familiar with his negotiations with Nike. He obviously wanted to go to Adidas, but Nike put out what was at the time a huge outlay for an athlete to be the face of their brand. But we all know how incredibly well that worked. Moved on in the 80s, again, it was celebrities. Cindy Crawford's campaign with Pepsi, Michael Jackson. It was massive influencer campaigns. And that evolved into the, say, 2000s with reality TV. And a family you'll all be familiar with, the Kardashians, which brought kind of normal people, shall we say, gave the social media reach, put a different audience, a different dynamic to the world of advertising, which has brought us to the advertisers that we have today. So basically, we've gone from the Popes, Santa Claus, the Marlboro Man, Michael Jordan, Cindy Crawford, the Kardashians, to the likes of me. So pretty standard journey, but that's where we're coming from with influencer marketing. So we'll just go through my next slide here, and I look at, I suppose, the current landscape. And we have to be very aware as business people of who our customers are and how they're consuming information at the moment. So when you look at 67% of marketing people are communicating through influencers. So they're using influencers on a very regular basis to engage in the world right now. It is grown exponentially as one of the most important forms of marketing. It is an inherent part of the marketing mix and has been used across the world, and even despite the current times that we're going through, it is continuing to grow in investment and in relevance in the market. Again, as I say, knowing your brand, knowing what product that you're selling, you have to know what platform is most relevant to the end users, to your customers. So when it comes to influencer marketing in general, Instagram is the number one platform for these people. 79% of influencers currently consider it the most important platform. But as we see, things change. TikTok is growing extremely fast. It's something that marketing people need to be aware. There is a new generation of influencers through TikTok. Today, in fact, I was meeting with an influencer that is living in Galway that has 200,000 TikTok followers. Ultimately, you have to be aware, are those people that are on TikTok your customers? They may not be. So it may not be a platform that you need to be very aware of. But at the same time, it is growing in relevance, growing in age demographics. So it is something that's going to continue to grow. So one of the interesting stats I saw was that 53% of micro-influencers have never been paid to promote a product. Often influencer marketing, it's not all about paying huge money to the biggest influencers, as I'll go through very shortly, but collaborations and gifting a product or offering your product or service to someone that truly believes in your product can earn you huge benefits in the long run. And you can build partnerships with these people. I'll talk through that shortly. As I say, it's really important to understand where your market are. So the current teenage market, 70% of them are subscribers on YouTube. So people that they are following, the celebrities that they see on YouTube are more relevant celebrities than what we see as what the older generation would see as celebrities. So you have to be aware that YouTube is the second most used website in the world after Google, and that the content that is being consumed on these, be it video games or be it box openings or different tutorials, is incredibly important to a specific demographic and a specific customer set. And these people are growing up with this. So you need to be very aware of this. So if you're creating content for a specific, say, your social media, you need to be aware of YouTube as well. Not only does it help with your Google rankings and your SEO, your audience could potentially be there or be getting there. Your future audience could be there. So, as we say, 91% of millennials are trusting online reviews. They're trusting the people that they follow on a regular basis because they've built this relationship. They're living the ups and downs with this person. Whereas in the past, influencers, say celebrities, you'd see this beautifully constructed ad or video on TV, and that was it. That was the only connection you had with this person. Whereas now, the insight we have into the lives of these people, we are believing that we're friends, that we are part of their lives. We're sharing the ups and downs of these people. So we know when they've had a good day or a bad day. So there's a bond, there's a community built there among these people. In terms of marketing, it is one of the most tangible and easy to track in terms of return on investment. So on average, it's about $6 to every dollar spent worldwide at the moment is what is considered the regular return on investment in influencer marketing. So it is incredibly beneficial when it comes financially. Now, sometimes this is hard to track, but there's a lot of metrics. I'll go through that later on. But ultimately, brand awareness is one of the most important elements of influencer marketing. That's where you need to focus. That's where you need to realize that the benefit of influencers are, and they're going to be able to help you get your name and get your brand out there as quickly as possible. So as I said, I discussed the types of influencers around. There's obviously mega influencers. You have your Cristiano Ronaldos, your Conor McGregors, these people with super huge followings, but they're costing outrageous money. Most of us do not have the budgets, so we would not consider these. The spend on those is probably much more than television advertising at the moment. Macro influencers. So these are people with between 100,000 and 1 million followers. And there's a considerable number of those in Ireland at the moment that are managed by influencer agencies. And because they're managed, it's tangible. It's trackable. You can sit down with these people. You can talk about the type of campaign. They have the experience in this industry. They're extremely professional. The benefit of it being a person's job, they're going to take this extremely seriously. They're going to do it well. This is a source of income. So like any other campaign, like anyone else that you are collaborating with, this is a serious piece of marketing. And these people are among the most talented and creative in the country. Micro influencers are another market which are very interesting as well. So that's people with between 1,000 and 100,000 followers. And actually, it's interesting. These people are often far more engaged following than the say macro influencers, because they're that bit smaller. They have time to engage with their followers more often. They can message back and they can talk to people. They're easy to meet at different events, and they're on a level where people think, that could be me. I could be doing that kind of thing. So they're not at the elite level where they're off on these fancy holidays all the time or getting ostentatious product collaborations. This is something that people see, this could be my friend. I could be friends with this girl or guy. So it's really interesting. And then nano influencers. These are people with less than 1,000 followers, but are in a very specific niche market and can build a following and can be very, very beneficial. The thing about influencer marketing, and I will get to this again, but it's not just pretty girls taking selfies. Every industry has influencers, have people that are respected and that know what they're talking about, and people will listen to them and make purchasing decisions. So often, I think the industry is disrespected because people don't realize. They think it's just a simple matter of taking a photograph, putting it up on Instagram, and there you are. You're an influencer. There's so much more to it than that, and every single industry has influencers. It's even very interesting to see in GA at the moment the amount of engagement that people are getting on Twitter, those that are very knowledgeable and sharing good information, up-to-date scores, things like that. Good quality content will always be consumed by people and influences people in their engagement process or their decision-making process when they're purchasing. So just because someone doesn't have a massive following does not mean that they are not going to be of serious benefit to the company that you have or what you're doing. So now I've mentioned these kind of briefly, but ultimately, I suppose there are a number of issues with influencer marketing. The person that's signing the check obviously is often is not the target market of these people. I've often got it where people will be saying to me on social media, oh, you can't listen to these, the way they talk is so childish or immature, or Huns and love, all this kind of stuff. I can't relate to it. Often these people are not the target market. The talent or the skill that these people have is that they're able to communicate with their target market, with what they want to hear and who they want to hear. And that's why it's so beneficial. If you have a clothes shop and you're selling girls' clothes, you're not going to come to me because that's not who I'm following. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you have someone that's living in your city and that often shops there or that believes in your brand and their followers are around that city, which with the insights that you have on social media now, it's very easy to see. So before doing a campaign, you can see, okay, 80% of my followers are based in Galway City. They're girls between 25 and 29. That's your target market. So you know that the people that you want to come in and purchase your product are the people that are going to see this content when it's being posted. So business owners, no more than TikTok, Instagram, need to take time and respect it as a marketing tool. As I said, it's often, you would see people derided for taking photos of their food, taking photos or countless selfies to get the perfect one. But if you were a brand and you have gifted someone a meal, which we often do in this company. And perfect example, very recently, a major influencer came into our restaurant, Hyde Bar, which has been designed very specifically to be an Instagram-friendly bar. So one of the benefits of that is that it generates user-generated content. So people actually come into our bar. They will always take photographs of certain areas of the bar and post it on their own social media. So even if you have only 200 followers, your friends are seeing that. So everybody is sharing the name of our bar and how aesthetically pleasing it is inside. So we had an influencer come in for brunch very recently, and I track all of these metrics. I tracked before she came in, and within 4 hours, we had 397 new followers. So that's roughly 400 people that could potentially be customers. It might not be this week, it might not be next week, but in time, they will see our brand on a regular basis. And because I believe in the content that we're putting out, I know that when they're making the decision process to come to Galway for food, they will visit our bar. And that insight has been created because an influencer shared that on her story with some beautiful photographs. And so it is a business decision. So the cost to us, the cost price of the food versus the exposure we got there was absolutely fantastic. The return on the investment, countless. It would take less than one person to come in for lunch to cover that for us. So in terms of return on investment, there is absolute guarantee that 10 people will come in. So huge return on investment in that area. As I say, a perceived lack of credibility. Maybe it's a disrespectful thing, but it is a highly female-led industry. And one would wonder, is the industry not fully respected because it's mainly young girls that are leading the lights here? But it has to be recognized that this is an incredibly competitive industry and incredibly challenging. The quality of content that is being produced by Irish content creators at the moment is world class. There's photo editing, there's quality of photograph, there's location. They are, in terms of tourism for the area, they're promoting towns, hotels, different things because of the phenomenal quality. And the quality, which when they take, can be used by you. So it's marketing content that you're able to create and share out there yourself. So there's countless benefits to collaborations with influencers. If you do your research, understand how important it is. Now, having said all that, there is always going to be lawlessness in all these industries. And there are people with fake followers and who buy fake likes. So you could look at an account and go, oh, absolutely amazing. She's 50, 60,000 followers. We're definitely going to get her in. One of the things that I would recommend is that you always, there's a website called Social Blade. So you can search the influencer on that for their growth in following. If you see any anomalies there, you know that there's something curious about it as well. Very simple thing to do is to open Instagram on your desktop, because you can still check the amount of likes on that page. So if someone has 30,000 followers and is only getting 10, 15 likes per post, there's something not adding up there. So unfortunately, there is always going to be people like that. But the regulations are tightening and the cream is going to rise to the crop. People are putting more and more effort into it. It's going to be taken more seriously in this country as it grows and will improve. Poorly thought out campaigns are obviously another issue as well. You need to have the right person with the right product. So it has to be someone that fits your brand. So if you're a sportswear brand, you need someone that's known for their athletic prowess. There's no point in having someone that doesn't play sport advertising a new pair of football boots. Similarly, there's no point in having a female customer talking about men's products. You need to know who your target market is and is that person speaking to them. So campaigns need to be figured out well in advance and worked on together. And this is a collaborative effort as well. So how to make it work for you? We can all, as I said, every industry is relevant. There is an influencer out there that can benefit and ultimately make money for every single person out there. So one of the great quotes I saw about it was that social media allows big companies to act small again. So you have countless brilliant examples of this on social media, Twitter, Instagram, people replying and having conversations online with major companies. It makes the customers feel more aligned to the brand and feel more part of it. If you're in a lovely restaurant, you share your food, you post your food, tag the hotel, bar, restaurant, and they share it, you feel a bit better about that. So it's allowing companies to build a brand. So I suppose I've said this countless times here, but knowing your audience, it's essential part of any kind of online selling in general, but in specific online selling, because of the ability of targeting specific audiences, niche audience, but very specific audiences through social media, through digital marketing, through paid advertising. Absolutely essential. So knowing your audience, how can you talk to them if you don't know who they are? Second thing, as I've said before, you find an influencer that speaks to that audience. So I would often eat out in Galway and promote different restaurants in Galway because I'm known as someone in Galway. I get countless messages every week. People are coming to the city. Where's good to eat? And I'll ask them, what do you like? How many are there? What age are you? And I'll know the specific restaurant that suits those people. So if a restaurant invites me in, then they will be on front of mind for me to promote them. And my social media following will be able to see them. Like, I'm not going to promote it unless I believe in it or it's someone somewhere that I enjoy and think will be good for people. And that's the kind of honesty that's coming through, that is in the market, but will be essential as we go forward. So when I talk about building a relationship, this is a two-way street. Influencers want content. Influencers, if it's a paid campaign, it's money for them. This is a job, but they want to do it properly. You need to be able to communicate and work together. These kind of campaigns will ultimately benefit both of you in the long run. They're getting good quality content with a brand that they believe in, and you're working with a high quality influencer that's going to create a lot of brand awareness for you. So these things shouldn't be one off. You can work together, see how it works the first time, and hopefully build a relationship. That gives trust as well in the campaign for the followers as well. As is with any kind of campaign, I suppose it's essential to identify goals and then working together. You need to give the person support. So whether it's access to your venue or good quality products, they need to be sending you the photographs, sharing the content. You need to be agreeing on how much is going out. when it's going out, the kind of quality of it. And again, I suppose with every campaign, it's essential to review the campaign. You need to look back on these things and learn from it. It's the only way that we, as an industry, are going to benefit. Times are tough now. Influencers are out there. They are available. They are working with people, and they are a fantastic way to grow your business, to make more money nowadays. So it's so essential that these campaigns are done right, because we've all seen where you try a campaign and it doesn't work and that's it. But why did it not work? What went wrong? Was it the timing? Was it the kind of content? Did you not work together properly? So it's essential to review the campaign and then see where you're going from there. So now, just moving on to the future of influencer marketing that I perceive. So there will be more regulation, which I think is a very welcome thing. There's a lot of, as I say, buying likes, inflating followers and stuff like that. So there's nothing worse, and I've seen it happen to businesses here, and I've contacted them and I've offered my services going forward, that there is people out there that will chance their arm. They see, I've heard of people saying buying followers is the same as boosting a post. It's absolutely not. It's ruining your algorithm. It's a terrible thing to do, but it's lying. It's fraud. You're telling someone that you have 10,000 followers and you've only 5,000. That's a horrible thing to do. It's terrible. So the regulations are there, they're being policed, and they will continue to be implemented more often and better. And it's going to become a much clearer field for everyone that's involved in it. As I say, it's become so professional. If you look at the quality of content that has been created over the past number of years, it's absolutely superb. And with improvements in technology and with more professional influencers, the standard of quality is going to grow through the roof. So it's absolutely fantastic. There will be more influencer agents. There's a number. Andrea Roach is one of the top ones at the moment. There are a number of agencies which do make the whole process much easier because of the experience that they have. They know what you're looking for. They're able to give you trackable information that after the campaign, they're able to set out contracts with you so that you are getting the most out of every campaign. So it is much better. Higher standards. I suppose what I'm saying there is that everyone with technology and stuff is able to produce their own fantastic quality. I see in our hotels, our bars, that our customers are putting up fantastic posts. This user-generated content that they're creating is absolutely superb, and it's some stuff that I can post on our social media. So the fact that they're able to do that is raising the bar for the influencers, and the kind of content that is coming out is absolutely amazing. You see TikTok, there's always innovations, there's always higher standards and better quality content coming out there. So it's exciting to see kind of what's happening and the future of it. And again, I suppose Ireland, bit behind, we're still learning, we're still adapting. It's a small market. The investment will continue to grow. Once people see the benefit of influencer marketing, the return on investment, I'm involved in a number of very exciting projects to kind of promote the area, but also across our group here. And we've seen absolutely wonderful returns and results. So we're going to continue to invest. And it's something that I see as an influencer myself, companies coming to me and working, and also in terms of the hospitality industry in particular. It's going to go through a very tough time, and this is a fantastic avenue in terms of staycations and a way of engaging with new audiences and relevant audiences that will hopefully come and spend their money and time here and enjoy their stays or their purchase, whatever product, whatever company you're involved in. These people will be there for you. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon with all the fantastic speakers that you have. You can follow me on social media. It's at Galway Player is how I'm known on Twitter and Instagram. And obviously check out the Connacht Hospitality Group as well. So thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you've learned a bit.